Friends, I make no guarantees on what you're going to hear in the background because these cheerings is wide open. I am going to start with Riman's Luminous Cushion, what are we calling this one? Luminous Glow Cushion. I don't use these very often because I just prefer the way Seint looks. I prefer the way it wears. But if you are looking for your skincare in your makeup, this is an option. This is also a good option if you just want something to throw on and go. So I'm going to be using both of these colors, light and natural beige. I haven't gotten it in yet, but I just ordered a deep color because I'm going to use it as bronzer. Let me get my words right. And I have a customer that I want to see if it matches better because she likes to tan, and I have been having trouble getting her color match for Seint. So this might be something that's she might like a little bit better. Plus, she's one of them throw on and go girls. She don't want the whole bunch of different tints or anything like that. So it might work out better for her. If that's you, let's talk. It comes with a little poof. There are two cushions per pack, so you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. It also, right now, it has a bundle pack with a lip oil, 2 of the butter lip tints, 1 of these, a setting spray, and I think that's it. I don't know, but that goes off today. All the Riman bundles are done after today. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go real quick with the... Okay, I'm going to get it right here. Okay, so I'm using the lighter color, which for me is light, and I'm just breezing down the center of my face. Typically, I would have prepped my skin with the Calming Balance Gel, but I'm just playing around the house, and I don't really care what I look like today because the day is over, and I'm just playing in makeup with y'all. So I like using the shape brush. You can use any of the brushes. The powder brush was actually perfect for this, but Seint no longer sells the powder brush because I don't know why. Anyway, I'm still sad about that. That's one of the ones that they let go. I'm going to kind of brush this upward to give my eyes a lifted look. It dries down a little different, so it's different to work with, but you can already see the coverage. I'm also using the fat end. I'm going to do a little bit on my jawline, and maybe some on my cheeks here. Okay. Then I'm going to take this darker color, and I'm just tapping it in, and you see, there we go, we blend. We put on and we blend. Instant coverage. If you want a little heavier coverage, you can pat it on there. I do wish this had sunscreen in it. Now, the Seint creams have titanium oxide in it, which is not a rated sunscreen. But look at that coverage. Look, the difference. Look at me scratching myself. But Seint does offer a little extra protection. And I am just tapping it into my skin here. You could also take the little poof and poof it on. And I have seen some girls, after they get it on, they like to take the poof and kind of tap off the excess. What is going on here? Well, we'll just cover that up too. Okay. I'm really not sure what's happening with my neck area. But I'm going to take this poof and just kind of pat off the excess. You can use the poof if you like a fuller coverage. This is great. But this kind of just helps get rid of any extra. Like the, oh my God, the Perfector Sponge. You can wet that sucker and get extra off. Anyway, that gives you a nice overall luminous looking glow. And there you go. You can also use your, like if you have to color correct, you can use that with your Seint. You can use your color corrector with your Seint. And actually I don't feel like I need it. So I feel like I have gotten the coverage that I needed with this. I'm just going to kind of blend that in. Okay, now let's get into these. Oh, these eyeshadows. Y'all got to get a hold of these eyeshadows. These are going to be available, these 4 different combos, collections, if you will only be available through the 10th. Typically, these are $14 a piece. You can get all 4 of these. Each one of these are $39. So you're saving yourself almost $10 a 10, and they're great colors. So I don't really know what color I'm going to dive into. I believe that I have done this one recently. So let's do something. We'll go, we might do, I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay. The eyeshadow brush is one of the brushes that are 25% off right now. It's typically $20. It will be $15 for you. So let's keep in mind whenever you are grabbing what you need. Let me get some eyebrows on. I just feel better if I have eyebrows on. Okay. I still haven't put this in this is the line brush. This one right here is one of the ones that are 25% off. And it's $25, but it's marked down to $18.75. It's got the spoolie on the end, chiseled little brush end. There is not a hair. That's just the way that thing is reflected. Okay. This is what I always use to put my brows on. I use Oak eyeshadow, and this is how I do my brows. Because I learned how to pluck in the 90s, and I have no natural brows. Hardly. I never, ever, ever even did my brows until I started doing Seint. And it's amazing the difference that having some brows makes. Now, there are some girls that can use the Archangel Brow Gel from Seint and like really get some good looks going on and shape and sculpt their brows. I'm going to be honest with you. I do good if my brows are even plucked at this juncture of my life. That's what I feel like I'm accomplishing if my brows are plucked. I have a hole in my tin, so the inside is getting a little bit worn here. And I'm trying to be gentle to not break it. The rest of my tin. See there? Look at her. This is what I love using for my brows. If you need help picking a brow color, I can help you with that. I even have a customer who's a natural redhead, and we have found her perfect brow shade. I think we decided on Bird. Maybe that's the color that we picked for her. I can't remember if that was it or not, but it's got a few red undertones and it matched her brows perfectly. So if you think you can't be helped, honey, you can. I just can't get my brows even. That's all. But this line brush right here is great for a nice chiseled line look. I will also be using it for eyeliner in just a moment. This one is darker. Golly Bob. We're just going to keep on brushing until we get it right. Okay. Now we move on. Okay. I've made a mess. Now let's go on to, let's just open it up and go. We're going to use, let me see, Manor. This is the Manor collection right here. It is Zion. No, this is Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes, Zion, Drift, and Butterscotch. I may have said that right. This is Drift. This is Zion. This is Butterscotch. Okay, back to this. This is one of the nice little discounted brushes you will find here. Do you have to use all 4 eyeshadows? No. Not at the same time if you don't want to. Do you want to use all 4 eyeshadows? Well, you can if you want to. I might do 2 different looks with the same little, what you call it here, combo. I was watching got into a doom scroll the other night. Okay, I'm going to use, on that side, I'm going to use the butterscotch all over. On this one, I'm going to use drift all over. And we're just going to have two different eye looks. And it was saying, if you're over a certain age, don't bring your eyeshadow all the way up to the top of your brow bone because it'll make it look like it's fallen. I do not conform to today's beauty standards because I just find what works for me and that's what I roll with. Maybe that's why, maybe my makeup don't look good. I don't care. Okay. I feel like I look pretty. I'm going on with the Seint here. I would also said not to do this, but like the outer V is dated. Don't do it. I'm doing it, kids. I am doing it. The thing that I do incorporate all the time is my hooded eye. I will bring this little crease color all the way up here. I try to relax my face, but I have expressive brows. It's just something I cannot help. And talking while I'm doing a live does not help either. But that way, because if I go, well, we'll just use the same color over here, whatever. If I open my eye and just go into my crease, that just flicked all the way over to the side of my eyebrow. Y'all see that? Oh my gosh, it's gonna look like my 4-year-old did my eyes today. But whenever I close my eyes, I don't have a crease. At least if you go up above the hood, it looks like you have a crease. Your crease did not disappear. Over here with the side of your brows. All right, we're just going to blend this out just a little bit. When in doubt, blend it out. Okay. Broadway musical right in the middle of your live. You didn't know you was getting it, huh? Okay, here we go. All the way up. And then I take the same color and I bring it down here. Now I have been here lately taking the pencils and lining. Apparently that's a no-no too, but I will die on that hill that I love thick, heavy, dark eyeliner. That's just me. Do you have to do it? You don't. You sure don't. No, ma'am, you don't. Okay, I'm going to take, I did drift on this side. I'm going to do bright eyes over here. And I am going to punch up that drift on this side a little bit. But this is all from the same little, what you call it, the same collection. Okay. So you can see you have two completely different eye looks. Where is my towel? Just like that, same thing. I'm going to blend just a little bit. I do not have contour on. All right, we're going to blend this out just a hair. Now, I'm going to take drift right here. I'm going to use one of these little, where's my spot brush? There it is. I'm going to take drift. I'm going to put just a little bit in the corner of my eyes. Just a little bit to lighten that up. And under my brow bone, because that makes me happy. Right here. That's where your lifted look comes from. Lift everything to the sky because gravity be not our friend these days. And neither is all this that I done put on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to take that same drift and kind of use it as a powder illuminator that Seint retired. You can put a little bit right here. If you want to put a little bit up here, you can, to give you a dewy glow. But if you use Riman, you don't really need the extra dewy glow. Just saying. Because the skincare gives you the most beautifulest glow. Okay. All right, and there we go. Let me get, okay, smudge. This is one of the ones that is 20% off. I think I said 25% off a while ago. My bad, y'all. It is 20% off. And it is, where's smudge? $27. It will be marked down to $20.25. I am going to use a 10, my 10 here, of contour. Now that we've had these pencils, my poor 10 of contour hardly ever gets seen. So I just draw it on just like I would the pencil. Just the same way, aggressively and haphazard. That's just how I roll whenever I'm doing all things contour. So if I can get this down pat, honey, trust that you can too. And then we're gonna bring some under here. Now the Riman cushion that I used has a bit of a micro powder finish. So the finish is just a little bit different. It's a little bit more matte. And I have to blend a little differently. Look at these cheekbones. So if you want a little bit more of a contour, there you go, get yourself a smudge brush. Whenever I am doing an initial color match, I usually suggest either this detail brush or the smudge brush or both. Because as you can see, I just used them both. The smudge brush itself can also be used on eyes. I personally like it for drawing my contour on. I feel like I get more direction there. Then we're just going to lighten that back up. Okay. And then blend out your beard. Always blend the beard. Don't be heading to Tupelo with your 5 o'clock shadow showing. Because your husband will get jealous that your 5 o'clock shadow looks better than his. Okay, now I'm going to blend it out. Ta-da! Ta-da! Kind of blend this under here. Okay, now, yes, I have 2 different colored eyes. Because I'm showing off 2 different things. Okay, now back to this line brush. What'd I say she was? Line, because I can't remember nothing. She is $18.75. Right now, we are going to use the Black Friday eyeliner right here. I'm really trying to use this last little bit up so I can get her out of my palette. But I am just going to, I'm kind of patting, like I'm digging around in this corner, and then I pat it on the sides to keep it chiseled. Now, I like the heavier, thick eyeliner. This will help you smudge a bit more. If you like a smudgy look, this will be more smudged. And also in the morning time, if ever I do my makeup in the mornings, my eyes water so bad that this brush irritates the ever-living fire out of my eyes. Because I'm sensitive. I have sensitive eyes. Right now it's fine. It's just for whatever reason, first thing in the morning, my eyes don't want to act no kind of way but the wrong way. And then we try to make it look the same over here. I'm also much quicker with pencil. But this is if you want all your stuff in one palette, despite the fact that I did not even use the makeup out of this palette this time. Whatever, we have options. We're women, we need options, right? And you can control this very easily. Ooh, unless you blink, because you done shoved it in your eyelashes. Okay. Ta-da. Oh, cat eye look. I cannot wing. If I ever try to wing my eyeliner, it just it turns into a disaster, and then I end up with pretty much my whole lid eyelinered from trying to make it work. And then I'm going to try to line this up a little bit. See, look how pretty this line ends up. I don't know why. I do this whether I'm doing the pencil or the brush. One eye always looks so much better than the other one. Always. Always. Good, crisp, clean lines over here, boss. This other eyes, look, this is where I get forky from. And this is why I tell every single woman that I come in contact with, their first thing is, I don't think I can do this makeup. You can. You can. Because I'm a disaster. and I do it, you can too, ma'am. Just kind of stamp it a little bit. See, just stamp it. It still looks better on this side. And for sure, I am going to be the only one that notices it. The only one. Anybody else singing Melissa Etheridge right now? Y'all are my people. Okay, now we're just going to go brush a little bit under here. A little bit under here. Okay. That's about as good as it's going to get. And sometimes you can use a little pointed end to fix your mistakes. I don't know why I'm talking with a lisp. Okay. This side still looks better. It's fine. Whatever. We move on. Anywho, we're going to take this etch brush right here. Where did that come from? Okay. Well, crisis averted there. It's because I'm digging around in that little faux freckles. And that tin. Trying to get that last little bit. Okay, I'm kind of lightly feathering this down so it doesn't look as wild. Calm it down some. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? One of my customers chimed in and said she wanted to see Sangria lip oil. This is one of the new lip oils. We have 4 lip oils that correspond with these here lip and cheek colors. I have them completely out of order, but you have Black Cherry, Sangria, Desert Sunset, and Nude. This is Black Cherry right here on the end. These are non-scented. Sangria. Okay. Desert Sunset. This one right here. And then Nude. This one right here on the end. So those are the 4. This is also one of our newly released palettes that's sold out. All but one of the patterns have sold out. So now I'm going to show you the line brush, because this one, not line multitasker, this is 25, it's marked down to 18.75. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here with that end right there that you could probably also use for eyeliner. I just like the line brush. And I am going to line my lips to give definition and keep the lip oil in check. Okay. Just like that. And I can use either this end right here. If I was using it in a tin, it's perfect for putting your lip and cheek on. Or now that I had this pretty little doe-footed thing here. Oh, this stuff is so hydrating. Unscented lip oils. The other ones are scented. They smell kind of like they're corresponding whatever their name is. I keep these in my pocket. I love the lip oils, but it's just a subtle little hint of color. And, oh, what I should have done. I should have done a little bit of the Sangria and then this on top. But I wanted to show y'all what it looks like without any extra color underneath it. Now, one thing to think about is if you keep these in your palette, your face of makeup here, what you can do is you can tap it on, tap the Sangria on. It's pretty, it's kind of dry. And then you have a little bit more color. And whenever you put your lip oil on, I feel like I need to sneeze, it will help rehydrate it some. But if that lip oil is not the depth that you want it to be, go ahead and throw a little tint on it with your Sangria and your tin. Okay? Okay? Get that down. Okay. And then, it's just going to look like my 4-year-old has done my whole face today. Because I can't draw anything today. Okay. And then I'm going to take the blend brush and I'm lightly tapping. And then I'm just going to give myself the redness that I took off with the makeup. Nice and easy. All the way up. Did y'all hear knocking? I don't know if that's somebody knocking on the door or if the kids are in there helping boys cook supper. How fun, huh? Okay. There was fuzz or something there. Okay. And there's my face. Now I am going to, well, mascara time. I'm going to throw it at myself. And then we'll be done. A little bit of mascara. I am going to go Silk. Just to have a nice little coat of something. And I say this again, I've got to open up my new mascaras. The timing, right? Perfect timing. Okay. And have no fear if you get mascara everywhere. You just give it a second to dry and then you scratch it off. Normally, I do my first layer of mascara before I do my lips or the contour that I have forgotten to do or my eyebrows that I have forgotten to do. And it'll give it a minute to kind of get tacky to hang on to the other mascara. One lengthens, one tubes, or one volumizes. The Luminous one is completely done. Like it's out. It's out of commission. There's no more with that. That is driving me nuts. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's driving y'all crazy too. Oh, okay. It's done. There we go. I have lashes, I have cheekbones. I have on a face. I promise you, I had AJ's, he had his first little archery meet yesterday. And I don't know, I just entered my little time warp something where time just disappears. And I was like, oh my gosh, we've got 15 minutes to get out of the house. I was like, I can put my makeup on. I'm going to do it. But then I realized I had 4 other people in my house to get out the door, and I decided I'm just going to not wear makeup because it would have been cutting it too close, and that would have made my anxiety just go through the roof. I didn't realize that they were going to charge us to go because we had to pay for the camp, but I mean, it makes sense because it'd be a great little fundraiser for the archery team. They should have let us know beforehand. But he did so good. He finished 8 points behind the leader. First time ever doing anything like this. And that he was the second highest scoring individual out there. Of course, they did have them real close to the line because they were all newbies. But he did really well. I'm proud of him. Okay, girls, this is my look. Let me know if you need help picking out anything. If you are curious about the makeup and haven't pulled the trigger, let's get you matched, whether it be Seint or Riman. Whatever you need, I got you. Let me help you get matched. I have samples. I do samples of all sorts of stuff. I cannot sample out the makeup, but I sample out pretty much anything else. So let me know what you need, and I would love to help you. I have a borrow bog instead of a bag. It's got the full Riman line in it, with the exception of the rad line, because I need you to talk to me before you get into the rad line. But that's for free. That you just borrow it for a couple days, and then you return it and tell me what you're ready to get. And then I have the sample packs. Everything is $20. I'm not going up on my prices, even though Riman's products have gone up. I'm just eating the cost because I want you to try this stuff so much. So let me know if you're ready, and I do all kind of different sample packs, or you can individually sample out stuff. So holla at you, girl. Let me know what you think about the Riman and the eyeshadows that are 2 different. Yes, I'm not crazy. These are 2 different eye looks. So I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful Sunday and an amazing work week. I will talk to you later.